Chapter 6, Managing Social Responsibilities and Ethics. 6.1. What is social responsibility? 6.2. Green management and sustainability. 6.3. Managers and ethical behavior. 6.4. Encouraging ethical behavior. 6.5. Current issues in social responsibility and ethics. Learning objectives. Discuss what it means to be socially responsible and what factors influence that decision. Explain green management and how organizations can go green. Discuss the factors that lead to ethical and unethical behavior. Discuss current social responsibility and ethics issues. 6.1. What is social responsibility? Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is a self-regulating business model that helps a company be socially accountable to itself, its stakeholders, and the public. By practicing corporate social responsibility, also called corporate citizenship, companies can be conscious of the kind of impact they are having on all aspects of society, including economic, social, and environmental. Types of social responsibility. 1. Environmental responsibility. Environmental responsibility is the pillar of corporate social responsibility rooted in preserving Mother Nature. Through optimal operations and support of related causes, a company can ensure it leaves natural resources better than before its operations. 2. Ethical responsibility. Ethical responsibility is the pillar of corporate social responsibility rooted in acting in a fair, ethical manner. Companies often set their own standards, though external forces or demands by clients may shape ethical goals. Ensuring fair labor practices for employees means that there will be no gender, race, or religious discrimination among the employees. It ensures that each employee will be given equal pay for equal work. Types of social responsibility. 3. Philanthropic responsibility. Philanthropic responsibility is the pillar of corporate social responsibility that challenges how a company acts and how it contributes to society. In its simplest form, philanthropic responsibility refers to how a company spends its resources to make the world a better place. 4. Financial responsibility. Financial responsibility is the pillar of corporate social responsibility that ties together the three areas above. A company makes plans to be more environmentally, ethically, and philanthropically focused. However, the company must back these plans through financial investments of programs, donations, or product research. 6.2. Green management and sustainability. It is the organization process in which environmental targets and strategies are fully integrated into the operation in order to gain competitive advantage through waste disposal, sustainability, continuous learning, and social responsibility. Nike has launched an app called Making, which allows its design engineers to see the environmental effects of their material choices on water, energy, and waste. Benefits of green management. Short run. Improved health. Reusable items, and recycling. Long run. Improved brands. Stronger relationships. Technology upgrades. Reduced energy. Lower transportation costs. Less fees, and lower insurance rates. How organization go green. Environmental sensitivity. Low. High. Activist approach, dark green. Stakeholder approach. Market approach. Legal approach, light green. 6.3. Managers and ethical behavior. What do we mean by ethics? We define it as the moral principles that define right and wrong conduct. Many decisions that managers make require them to consider both the process of how the decision is made and who's affected by the result. The importance of ethical behavior. Society better. Treat everyone equally. Secure meaningful employment. Succeed at business. Lessen stress. Ethics in an international context. Are ethical standards universal? Although some common moral beliefs exist, social and cultural differences between countries are important factors that determine ethical and unethical behavior. The 10 Principles of the United Nations Global Compact. Human rights. Principle 1. Business should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights within their sphere of influence, and Principle 2. Make sure they are not complicit in human rights abuses. Labor standard. Principle 3. Business should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. Principle 4. The elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Principle 5. The effective abolition of child labor. And Principle 6. The elimination of discrimination in respect to employment and occupation. The 10 Principles of the United Nations Global Compact. Environment. Principle 7. Business should support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges. Principle 8. Undertake initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility, and Principle 9. Encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies. Anti-corruption. Principle 10. Business should work against corruption in all its forms, including extortion and bribery. 6.4. Encouraging ethical behavior. Managers can do a number of things if they're serious about encouraging ethical behaviors. For instance, hire employees with high ethical standards, establish codes of ethics, and lead by example. Employee selection. Codes of ethics. Leadership at the top. Job goals and performance appraisal. Ethics training. Independent social audits. 6.5. Current issues in social responsibility and ethics. Social responsibility is an important part of business ethics. A business is responsible not only for treating its employees and customers well, but also for keeping up its end of the bargain with society at large. Some of a business responsibilities to society include minimizing environmental impact, donating money to the needy, and recalling dangerous products. Problems with responsibility and business ethics sometimes occur when a business has to weigh these responsibilities against its responsibility to shareholders. The 10 Principles of the United Nations Global Compact. Law and social responsibility. A business' social responsibilities frequently clash with its ethical responsibilities. Corporations are legally responsible for looking after shareholder profits. At the same time, they are socially responsible for minimizing socially damaging, albeit sometimes profitable, business decisions. Shareholder pressure. Many shareholders do not have a strong understanding of the companies behind their stock certificates. These shareholders may demand increased performance from managers, thus creating a pressure on management to cut corners in ethics. To avoid such situations, management must speak openly with shareholders, explaining in detail why legal and ethical shortcuts have consequences that outweigh the value of a short-term profit. Shrinking government presence. In many countries, governments have turned a blind eye to corporate malfeasance. In situations where a government does not regulate business ethics, it is the responsibility of management to set their own standards. This can be a difficult challenge for managers, who are trained to put economic profit first and foremost in their minds. Labor market. Corporate executives are expected to minimize costs. Indeed, this is part of their mandate. Cost minimization is a logical corollary of profit maximization. However, problems begin to arise when companies start laying off massive numbers of employees in an attempt to cut costs quickly and rapidly. This drives unemployment up and creates a massive drain on social assistance programs. It is the responsibility of managers to keep these sorts of things in mind when making decisions. Thank you.